Do you think Harbaugh is really headed to the NFL this time? A lot of rumors out there about this, which there were always going to be. I think that it goes without saying we just saw an incredible year from Michigan, and they went to the playoff. I'm stunned. They lost the game against TCU. Just stunned. I think if they played the game again tomorrow, they'd win it. But you know what? That's me talking about paper. We don't play the games on paper. They played it on the field. They got beat. And that's the way it goes. So now they're home, and their staff's on vacation this week, but they're going to come back later this week, and we got some things to find out. My question with Harbaugh is not whether he's interested in the NFL. I know he is. My question is not whether there's mutual interest. I'm sure there are some organizations interested in Jim Harbaugh. I don't care about that, okay? Because that doesn't determine whether he's going to leave. Here's the thing I'm focused on, and it's the only question I'm focused on. Is he willing to interview for a job? There's a certain strata you get yourself in where you're too good to interview for the job. Number one, it's because of just that. You think you're good enough to where your resume speaks for itself. And the other is, you know, from an optics standpoint, you can't afford to go interview for that job and not get it. He already did that one time around. I'm a believer he's not going to do that again. And I'm not alone there. So if he gets an actual offer, I think he's very likely to take it. Is he willing to interview? Or, on the other side of that coin, is there an organization out there willing to offer Jim Harbaugh their job without going through that interview process? Informally, of course. So, that's the big question. Now, in a normal world, if this were a vacuum, he wouldn't owe you an explanation or me an explanation. He could just tell you mind your own business and you could go about his life. This is not a vacuum. This is college football. And so for several reasons, he does have to make a public statement on this. Number one, you got to hold your roster together. Number two, you got to hold your recruiting class together. Number three, your staff. You lost both coordinators last year during that whole ordeal with the Vikings. Not sure you want to go through that again. So the fourth thing, I would encourage you to go to the MichiganInsider.com because they do a great job covering this. Listen, Sam Webb over there, you guys are looking outside for sourcing. Sam Webb's about as close to that situation as anyone. So if it's happening, he'll know, and he'll probably know before the national types know. But he made a good point, and it's firsthand knowledge. He said, I'm hearing a lot of donors are very hesitant to sign on the dotted line with contributions. They want assurances about the direction, who's going to be the head coach here. That's totally fair, man. That's totally fair. It's your money. You don't want to be tossing it into a fan, and you don't know where it's going, and you don't know who's controlling the fan. So for those reasons, Jim Harbaugh is going to have to make an announcement here in some shape, form, or fashion, maybe publicly, maybe not. But I don't think it's going to happen over the next 48 or 72 hours. And the reason is because Black Monday is 6 days away. That's the Monday after the NFL season ends. That's when we find out who really gets fired. That's who we find out really is serious about this thing. And that's when we find out which jobs come open. And then we can find out whether any of them want to offer Harbaugh not sight unseen, without proper interview, a job. And we also get to find out whether he wants those jobs. You know, I assume he does, but we'll find out for sure. I would just like to also speak to the Michigan fans for a second, because I know it kind of sucks to be in limbo like this. I want to ask you, is it worth it? I think it is. Is it worth it? When you've been able to do what you've done the last 2 years, you beat Ohio State 2 times. I mean, beat them convincingly 2 times. Celebrate that for the rest of your life. You've been to the playoff a couple of times. I know last year we got the result most of us expected. This year we didn't, and it leaves a sour taste in your mouth to end the year, but still, man, it beats where you had been, doesn't it? And the future of the program looks bright. Portal is treating you very well right now. So you've got to deal with this right now. Is it worth it? Rhetorical question. I'll look at the comments later. I would imagine most of you would say, all things considered, if I got to wake up every day and check my message board 5 times an hour to see if I still got a head coach, but I do get to reap these rewards, yeah, I think it's worth it. And by the way, if he does go, it's the Michigan job. Guys, it's so attractive. So you'll have your choice of a line out the door of quality candidates. Everyone wants to get into the Big Ten or the SEC right now. Everyone does. By the way, I know the hiring process at Michigan is a little bit different, and I'm getting way ahead of myself here, but there may be some names, some established names that you don't even know are available. that would be available if the Michigan job came open. I know this because I've asked inside the industry, and I know how attractive that Michigan job is. And you can trust me because my logo is the same color scheme as the Michigan logo, so how could you get a closer source on the ground than us? Thanks for watching, guys. Don't leave yet. Don't leave yet. Make sure you like the video and please subscribe to the channel. Not just for me, that's how we keep this entire thing free.